Let's do this. Perfect. Welcome, everyone. Today is, what is today? August 27th. So we have about 4 days left of the month, which is crazy. It's September. Where is the year gone? I feel like I say this on every single call because I cannot believe how fast this year is going. But I'm super excited today. We have a special guest with us in the hot seat. It's Kim Fitzpatrick. She's a 7-star diamond, currently ranked number 14 in the network and just absolutely crushing it. So Kim, why don't you kind of start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, kind of how you got started with Beachbody and where you're at today, and then we'll open it up for those questions.
Okay, cool. So actually today's a neat day. I have a post brewing in my heart because today is the day that I decided to go all in. It was 4:25 on August 27th where I elbowed Jamie in the ribs and I said, if I can listen to 4 women get up there and tell me how they've built this business and I've said no for the last 5 months, like what, I'm just scared. And I'm just absolutely not doing what I know I can do. And so today's a really cool day for me because it's the day I said I can and I will. And I haven't stopped for 4 years. I haven't stopped every single day showing up in my business for 4 years. When I first started working this business, I was a corporate mama, 2 young children. I was finishing my degree. I was working on my degree anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a week. And I was working for my corporate job anywhere from 50 to 70 hours a week. I traveled constantly. I was a road warrior. I was like one of those moms that was the 605 parent that would barely get her kids on time. And I'd have anxiety trying to go, making sure I was calling the Y, being like, I'm coming and I'm going to be there. And for me, that's when the real shift happened that I could actually make change. I didn't go into this business ever thinking that I wanted to do this full time. If I'm honest with you, like I'm teary thinking about it because I never thought I could. I never thought that if you had told me 4 years ago that our team would be the #1 team in Canada and we would be here in this ranked where we are with the leaders and the women and the men we get to walk with, like, and that's my team, not Jamie's, like, that's not just, this is Kim. I would have said no effing way because I can't even fathom that this is happening right now. Anyway, it's pinched me every day, but here's what I'll share. I was thinking about this in my spin class this morning, not getting prepared for this call today. And if I look back to my success in this business, it has not come with a lot of awful downfall and doubt almost daily and getting challenged daily as a leader. And I will share that I think my past experience with leadership and with management and with corporate paved the way for me to be able to handle a lot of what happens to me now in this business. And I'll share the other thing I wanted to share as well is that I didn't want this business. I didn't want this business full time. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the scope of leadership. I will share, Sydney, that I spent the first 2, almost 3 years focusing on clients until I realized that I did that because it was safe and it was comfortable. And I was comfortable with helping people get in a challenge group and I was comfortable with helping people get results. And I was uncomfortable with my belief in how I was as a leader and how I could be as a business owner and a savvy business owner who now owns 2 businesses. Like I now own 2 businesses. And so for me, I think that a doubt played a massive component, but also the belief that I knew I could and my tenacity of just not giving up. I'm a very gritty person, and I think that that's boded me very well. I will also share that I'm a researcher. So I research the crap out of every single thing I do. I don't compare my post to someone else's likes. I compare my post to yesterday's. Being like, what did I just do wrong there? Okay, this wasn't received. What am I going to do differently? Because this message isn't landing with my audience on Instagram, right? So for me, it's not about likes, but when I've got 40, 50, 60 comments that other people are commenting under, I'm like, I'm nailing this. So for me, I want to build community. I want to build empowered women that lead in their own way. And I didn't know that until I started leading myself. So I would say my big shift happened 18 months ago when I decided So yes, 4 years ago today was the day that I decided to go all in, but I'd say 18 months ago was the first day that I decided that I was worth it. I have something to share, and I'm a damn good leader, and I can build a massive business and help other people to do it, but I'm not going to pull them, and I'm not going to tell them that I can do it for them. And if you don't get your foot on the pedal, I don't have time for you, because it's too hard. It's too hard. Like it's too hard to be in these conversations where people aren't wanting it as bad as you are. So I had to make that. I mean it with love. Like, I love everyone. I love if you walk. I do. I love if you jog. I even love if you crawl. But I can't pour a lot of time into you if you're not even doing the basics. But I'm going to love on you, but I'm going to let you crawl until you want to walk, until you use the tools and you stop being a tool and use the tools. Then we'll do it together. But like, I don't know what else to say, So for me, it was freedom. And I still, we didn't hit a goal. We were going for a goal by Thursday, and we didn't hit it. And it was a heavy weekend for me. It was a really heavy weekend, because here I was again, pouring my heart and soul into our team. And what I realized was, it's okay. And there's a reason why we didn't hit it. And now I'm actually thanking God we didn't hit it. Because the fire in our pod right now is magic. Because I held the leaders to the fire. I said, listen, I'm going to remove everyone to this chat that doesn't want this, but I'm not pulling you, and I won't pull you. And it just, that's how this business has been built, Sydney, on, really laying down the line that I can't pull you if you don't want this. And I really have a vision of what I want. And I'm so proud of the girls that on our team, and I'm so proud of where we're going, but my God, it's been hard. Like, I know this weekend on Sunday at 3:00, I put a blanket over my head. I was like, I'm going to have a nap, because it felt better than having to deal with anything else. That happens all the time. And I think we see these top leaders or top coaches and think that they're invincible. Well, we're not. We're leaders, and leadership is hard. And I had to realize where my gaps were this weekend, where I was failing. And then I needed to teach my team, this is where my gaps are, and I'm going to own up to them. And here's what I'm going to do to fix them. And that has been what I've done for 4 years. I have constantly evaluated, given myself grace, but also given myself shit, being like, get it together. You know what you're doing. You're procrastinating. Stop it. Go get your stuff done. And I yelled at myself in spin class this morning, being like, get it together, sister. And it's like, who else is going to yell at you? You have to yell at you. And I think I'm finally so over worrying about if I hurt people's feelings, but that's the hard part, because it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad when you think you've hurt someone, or you've damaged your trust, or you were a little bit less gentle than you need to be. But what I'm learning in this business is it's not personal, it's business. And you have to be firm in your words. And that's the hardest thing for me. That's been the hardest, because I just love on people so much, and I'm an empath. And it's like, if I see someone's read the message and hasn't responded, I'm like, they're mad, and that's just killing me. So I need to stop doing that. And I've noticed that as a gap. But gosh, I have such fire, and I have such belief in the leaders that I know want this, but I'm not hand-holding, and I'm not pulling them. And the women I'm attracting now is like, I can't, I'm here. Every single month, the women that I get to walk with in this business are coming up higher and higher and higher. And it's incredible, because I'm elevating. So as I have elevated as a leader, the women that I get to walk with are elevating and matching my purpose. Right? When you walk in your purpose, guys, people cannot take their eyes off you. They just can't. So do not be looking at other people's grids, what they're posting. You need to tune out and be very careful of the social media you consume, because it will sink you. It sunk me, absolutely. But it sunk me to a point where it kind of humbled me, and I was able to rise back up with my eyes in my lane. And that's been the game changer for me.
Seriously, I already have the chills. I feel like we could have just ended the call on that note too. Everything you just said, I was like, I already took a page of notes. Okay, guys, this call's for you. So let's open up the questions. Go ahead, take yourself off mute. You can write them in the chat, and let's start this.
Hi, Kim.
I'll start. Oops. Sorry. Hi, Kim.
Hi. Hi.
So I have loved and learned so much from you throughout the years, from New Leader Conference a couple years ago, and you were talking about your 5-star approach and the handout that you give your people when they first started. And I love your systems. And in Leadership at Summit, what you shared was so powerful to me. So I would love to know what's working for you now, right now, to not be pulling people, but to go from new coach to identify those people that you're running with, and how you mentor those people who are really wanting to go to Diamond and beyond. Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So first of all, I want to see the proofs in the pudding. So for me, I want to see them hitting SE. I want to see at least 2 to 3 weeks of their business activity tracker. I want to see examples of the conversations of the people that they're having. So those are what I'm asking for before I really believe it. Like I love on our girls, but I've got one girl in particular who is really trying hard. And all I said to her yesterday, because we're doing a push right now, there's about 25 of us working towards a big goal, and then also Elite for 2020 to lock it in. It's the third time we've dropped, guys, in the 5th week. Like, third time. So let me tell you how I'm feeling right now. We're going to get this, but like, this has been since February, man. Like, come on, guys. Like, enough's enough. So for me, I've had to draw my yeah, right, Kate? The hell. No. But I've had to draw my line in the sand, right? Like, Jess, I could add all these women that want it, who I love, and I see them working so hard, and I want to honor that for sure. But what I've realized is I'm like, no, you're not going in that diamond pod unless you have minimum of 5 coaches, 3 of them working, and a 1 emerald. Because if you're not in the game, man. Like, get back to the drawing board. And that was my error, right? I swear, guys, Jamie will like back me up on this. Everyone I get on a team or joins our team, I'm like, this is it. They're going to be amazing. He's like, stop saying that. Because I just have so much faith in all these people, but we have to stop the madness. Let them show you. Let them show you. So if you're hitting SC10, you got to call. I don't do one-on-one calls right now. I'm like pissed in a sense. I've gotten pissed. I'm like, no, I'm not getting on a one-on-one call right now, because what I'm going to say to you is what 6 other people need to hear. So I'll do a small huddle with you, but I'm not going to spend 1 hour of because it's not 15 minutes. It's not 20 minutes. It's an hour. How do you get people off a call? You don't. So for me to answer your question, diamonds, like, you got to really be working, man. You got to actually be having coaches, and I want to watch them on Instagram and see this vibe. And I see that happening, but because I've put up a little bit more of an expectation and a benchmark, and not like, people understand they're not in the diamond push right now. They're not in our goal push. And they're like, why? I'm like, because you don't have a team. When you have a team, you're going to step into this, and I can't wait to help and support you. But for right now, you're in the basics, and you're going to live in the vitals. And until you claw out of that and step into your leadership, you're at this table. You're on this bench. This is not about hierarchy or ever making anyone feel that they're less than, but it is about empowering them to want more. And that's okay as a leader, right? I'm going to love you up. I'm going to give you as many tools and tips as I can. But hey, girl, you got to keep on working, right? If you want to get these goals, you need to be recruiting minimum 3 to 8 coaches a month, like, minimum. And if you're not, sweetie, you're just starting, and you could be a hobbyist at this point. And don't be afraid to share that. Don't be afraid to share. Maybe you're not invested as much as you need to be. And the other thing I do, Jessica, too, is I want to ask them, I say, where's your 24-hour tracker? So I have a 24-hour tracker that I have all of our coaches fill out. Oh, it's in our training, and it's an audit. Like, what are you doing in your day? You know, for me, I need to take off showers because that doesn't happen. So I should just take out that 25 minutes, because I could be inviting. I was going to look so much better for you guys. This didn't happen. So my point is it's like, what are you doing? What's happening in your days? Where's your time going? And get them to do that for you before you hop on a one-on-one, before you're pouring all this time onto them, because they need to understand, like, your time matters. And I gave up my family, and I gave up my husband's time, and I gave up my own time for women that walked out and quit. And I will never do that again. Not a chance. I reign before they do. And it's super important because I have like a little anxiety chest in here because that's hard. It's hard as a servant leader. It's hard to say, I'm so sorry, but my workout hasn't happened because I'm in my inbox responding to your priorities, and that's not fair to me. But that's on you. That's on me. It's not their fault. That's on me not prioritizing. So as a leader, working with the leaders, make sure you claim that space because you're going to get frustrated and resentful, and that's kind of on us. I can send that 24-hour tracker. Gosh, it's so generic and simple. You know where I got it from? In my corporate days, the people that live with dementia, so I worked with residents living with dementia, and when their families would come in, I'd be like, okay, so who are these people? What do they do 24 hours a day? And then you saw these pockets of space that you could put things into. So I just said, well, let's do that for this business because all of us have a 24-hour clock, and then you can actually identify the times and the gaps. So if they're having trouble focusing, well, from 3 to 4, you have nothing to do. So you need to set I bought an egg timer. Legit. I'm gonna mandate an egg timer that we like put on, and you turn off all your other notifications and get it done. So I think that I've just really tried to model that. I go on, I say my gaps, I'm unorganized, here's what's stressing me out. Yes, I need to do that too. And right, and I just am honest and open as a leader. I'm no better than anyone else. I'm just gonna be open and honest with what I'm crappy at and really diligent in what I thrive at. And let's be all at the same table.
I have a question, Kim.
Yes.
Hi. You had mentioned that you just all of a sudden kind of started getting more traction and you noticed all the comments on your IG. Would you say that you did something different, or it just started to kind of snowball? Was there a moment that you realized, oh, I need to do this instead of this? Or could you allude a little bit to that?
Yeah. So I'm a podcast junkie and a total researcher of how can I be better on social media. My goal is like Rachel Hollis status, to be honest. Like I want to build a massive empire where I can help and inspire women. And I'm casting that out. So for me, I'm very interested in what other people want. I also give freely a value. So if you want a meal plan, I'm going to send you my meal plan. Like, I don't care if you sign up with me, but I want to know what you're prepping because I want to learn from you. And so my post may not get like 1 million likes, but they've got 50 comments. And that's what Instagram's looking for. So for me, I'm looking to engage. The other thing I really noticed what was important is I had to speak from my voice, and I had to get really vulnerable, and I had to talk about things that are not, I'd say when I pee my pants, like I think I'm funny. I'm not, but I think I'm hilarious. So I write how I talk. I found when I pre-schedule posts, it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve my audience. For me personally, I have to be in the moment of my day because that's where I'm crafting things through. Now, that being said, I have a marketing plan where I know tomorrow I'm going to post a picture, but I'm praying on that and thinking on that of what's going to evoke emotion in my community. I want to be able to respond to people that are reading. I want them to be like, I feel you, sister, right? Like, I want them to know me. I want them to know what happens and what doesn't happen. And to be honest, like that's where I'm at. I feel like, and the other thing that I'll share too is like yesterday on my stories, I just explained what I'm doing. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm just hopping on a call. I can't wait. This woman inspires the crap out of me. She has a current business. Can't wait to talk about how this business model will align with her business she already has. And she can dovetail it beautifully. I had 4 comments from that. I didn't do an invite. I didn't do a poll. I just told them what I was doing, that I was merely getting on a business call with another business owner to dovetail this business. So I just like, I feel like that's been better for me, to be honest. And that being said though, guys, like I also gave up Jenna Kutcher said this so well. She's like, if you are posting to post, she's like, you got to stop that because how's it working for you? I used to get anxiety. I haven't posted yet. I'm like, whatever, I'll just post twice tonight. I don't care. And that's more fun for me because if I post something and that may just send you guys all writhing, and I'm sorry if it doesn't serve you, but that's what serves me. If it doesn't serve my time where I've actually been able to sit down and write a post from my heart, I'm not putting it on my grid because the ones that I do that are shitty and I throw up and I copy from my memories don't work, because it's not Kim today. I'm a different version of me today, and I'm going to be a different version of me tomorrow. And the women I want aren't the one I was a year ago. I want to be me. And that's what's changed. And I'm so unapologetic about it. Probably to a fault. No F's given. I know that helps, Alethea, but it's really taught me.
It does. Thank you.
We kind of have to get over ourselves, right?
Okay, guys, keep them coming. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to ask really quick.
Oh, girl, you're breaking up.
Those new coaches who are coming into your tribe, those women who come in and they're like, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have those women come onto your tribe and they know what your expectations are, they are wanting to run, but then they don't. I know that you don't work, like you take them out of those pods, you do that. What does that conversation look like? Like what, you do it with love, but how are you doing it to help them understand, like you're not doing the things, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So let me clarify too, Melissa. So they stay in a pod, but they don't stay in the runner pod. They don't stay in the pod where they're like, I'm really working and I'm pushing, but I don't contribute at all. And I look and I just am a silent creeper. So I do have that conversation. So I actually had a really nice conversation with someone yesterday. I'm like, dude, you're not in the pod. Like you haven't engaged, and I'm gonna take people out that aren't engaging. And then I'm like, then there's heartfelt Kim being like, but I love you. And Jamie's like, why do you write that? He's like, be a businesswoman. Like be a businesswoman. You don't have to write you love everyone. I'm like, I know. So I'm working on that, to be very honest with you, Melissa. But like, here's what I do. So when we start every new coach training, we do a new pod for the coaches each month. So September has its own pod. August has its own pod. June has its own pod. And what we've learned is there are about 6 to 9 usually women that are fire in those pods. I have to pull them out of that pod into a new pod that gets them excited and rejuvenated. My problem is I forget to take them out of the other pods that don't serve them anymore. So they have too many pods, and sometimes people mute the chats. So what I'm finding is if I just have a good, honest conversation of like, okay, who fires you up? Like, what pod do you love? And that's where I go from. So I meet them where they're at versus it being, again, we're not there to micromanage, right? We're here to help them flourish in their business. So whatever serves them best is where I want people to go. I really tried to get away from trying to be that, like, pulling people to be like, I want to help you lead you. My job, and that's what I say to my clients, I say this to my coaches, I say my job is to help build you up with such belief that you can lead you. Because you won't work if you try to be me. It won't work if you're not inspired in the pod you're in. So who does inspire you? Partner up and make it happen. And what's happening is like a really cool shift's happening on the pods. And they're starting to kind of engage a little bit differently. So again, this business is about, taking action and doing. And that's what I say to them. We have a success starters call. So every Monday we do a call for the new coaches. I say that they can hop on those as many times as they want. I typically try to run them. Alethea is a boss at them. Or there's different coaches on our team that run them. But I try to run them as much as I can. So I have enough of an impact with our downline. It's super important to me that I get to taproot into the downline and they feel supported by me too. So they can come up and they can feel that they at any point in time can add their coaches to this team and they're going to have support. So that's been some of the conversations we've been having. And, are they showing up on the team calls? Are they asking you questions? Is it silent? If they're silent, I do a check-in, but dude, don't spend too much time because unless they start really working the business, they need to work the business. And again, you say it all with love. It's all with a lens of love, but it's like, dude, I said this the other day to someone. I said, I have 500 coaches. How am I supposed to do one-on-ones with you all? I can't, we can't. It doesn't work that way. So You know, the 50 that are working are going to get my attention. And if you want to be 51, I'm in this with you, dude, but you know exactly what you need to do. So that's kind of what I've said. And I don't know those are exact numbers, but as giving an example.
No, so good. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Ashley has a question.
So I'm going to read it to you. She said, I know you're great about delegation and you have a manager and someone else who helps you around the house. What are things that you don't delegate that you do and want to touch that only you can do? So what do you not delegate?
You know what, guys? I don't delegate out a lot. I don't delegate Instagram. I don't delegate out my connections. I don't delegate out selling challenge packs. I do all of that. I hit incredibly high SC, and I personally connect with every single person, and I'm the one doing the share cards. For me, that's how I'm able to upsell. That's how I'm able to really ensure that they're getting the products that are going to serve their journey where they're at. So I don't delegate the sales process. What I have delegated out with Jess, she's my left and right brain and a really great friend who's become an awesome man. Like, she helps our entire team. We co-write letters together. We're about to drop a collagen one this afternoon that are going out to so many people, and we're doing it together. I'm doing a video right after this, and she's going to embed that for me. She's awesome at Entreport. She's awesome at drip campaigns. I suck ass, but she's really great at that. So I do the videos, I help do the content, and she helps pull that out for me. So we work as a team. The other thing that I don't delegate is my involvement in my challenge group. My clients are so important to me. And it is really, we pull a lot of our coaches are from our client groups. So for me, it is like non-negotiable that I'm in there. I do have somebody helping me with comments, but I manage that with her. So I'm in there answering questions, and my lives are responsive to the pulse of the group. When you give that away, you give away your power. So, this business is about relationship building, and, it doesn't matter how many SC I make a month. For me, I was exhausted last month. I didn't think I could go on this month. But, we launched our headband line. We launched MM100. And I just was like, I'm in a season. And I refuse to, for me, I'm not delegating out the process because it's me that they're getting. So if they don't have me, how do I know who, and do I misstep? Absolutely. It takes sometimes 2 days for me to get back to people, 1,000%. Sometimes is our welcome email Siri in their junk mail? Yep. But you just figure it out. And I think if you can, they know it's me. The other thing I love to do is video message people back. And they see me on the Instagram. And I think that that's really helped build my community. Alethea, to your point, that's really helped me build my community because it's me. And so those are things I don't delegate out. I don't delegate out sales process. I still am the one who's doing the share card and following up with an email. So I know those names. I make sure I've connected with them on Facebook. I see them on Instagram. I need to be the one that's there. So those are things I don't delegate out. The things I do delegate out are comments in my challenge groups. But I do help. I keep a pulse. I do a quick check, and then I'm able to go live. I still am the one who's curating and developing the content for our free group. We've run 48 free groups every month. I have a community of almost close to 2,000 non-clients that I sell into. And guys, I sell into my client group like a boss. Like I have such influence in my client group. It is crazy. Like, I'm about to drop bombs on collagen and headbands, like giving out headbands for 3 headbands to whoever gets collagen in first. Like, our sales and our volume are insane because we have client loyalty, because I'm there. I'm with them. Like, you have to do what you say you're going to do. I thought I had a client today tag me on Instagram about our book club. I'm like, dude, you just totally re-inspired me. We forgot about book club. Thank you. So it's not about me. It's about how can we all learn together? What are some of your clients really good at? Delegate it out in your community rather than having to delegate it out to an assistant. And you now are building team and you're building coaching patterns, which is what you want. So that's kind of what I do. I keep stuff close. You're like, our coaches, I don't want to delegate out that time with them. You guys everyone's super important to me. And I think it's hard and it's a balance. Do I go to bed tired? 1,000%. Do I think I could give a fingernail more every single day? Nope. I don't waste a minute. I pour into this business. I still work anywhere from probably 10 to 12 hours a day on this business, and I won't stop. So that's what I do. It's not for everyone, and I'm okay with that.
I'm obsessed with you already. Okay. Taryn asked, how do you get through burnout? Like when you feel you're the only one showing up, offering trainings, team calls, recognition, it's draining.
You find new people. You move on. And you tell them that. I've had to rebuild my team 3 times. And it's hard. It's hard on your heart. Like I could just crumble. Like I could crumble right now. Like I just had a weekend where I felt like I was right back, guys, in 2018. Like it's not, this isn't for the weak-hearted. Go find people that want to walk with you. They're there. But you better be damn clear on what you want. And don't falter, because you're better than that. We all are. Best tip for finding new, just keep showing up. Talk about who you want. Talk about the women you want to walk with. Don't be so prescriptive in your stories. Be you, like doesn't need to just be about one thing. It's got to be multidimensional. I would look at your stuff. Are you multidimensional? Do you share? Do you show? Do you show up? Who are you as a leader? What do you want? Those are the things I really, really care about. I dive into me, guys, for about an hour to 2 hours a day. Like I need personal development, meditation, personal growth books. Gosh, I am constantly asking questions. I am like, the people I want surrounded with are like Rachel Hollis, Trent Shelton, Brendan Bouchard, Ed Milet. Like those are the people I want to walk with, the giants. I'm chasing them. I'm not chasing the people that are asking me questions they can find in FAQs. And I talk about that and I speak that out, because who do you want to walk with? Let's not settle. Like that's where I'm at, like that's where I'm at right now. And I feel like that's why I'm attracting new people. Guys, I recruit anywhere from 20 to 30 new women a month, coaches, and about 15 to 20 of them maybe will pan out over the months. Right. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. And it has been 4 years of consistent, ruthless, tireless evaluation every single day and course correcting. And I fail every day. I look for failures every day. I try to fail more than I win, because that's the only way I learn and I stay humble. Because when you edge God out and your ego takes over, you will just sink in this business, because it's not about ego, right? It's about, Wayne Dyer says it well. He said, you can either be a hostage to your ego or a host to your potential, and that's where you want to look for. You want to look for people that are host to potential, and you got to be that host. So that's how I feel. There isn't a trick. It's hard. I wish I had this. I wish I had how I do a power hour. I don't know how I do a power hour. I need to get on that. But can I connect with people from my heart? Yeah, I'm damn good at that. You got to find what you're great at, and you got to celebrate that, and you got to roll with that. Don't try to fit yourself into a mold. Don't try to be anyone other than you are. Do not let your team drag you down, and you got to rise. That's what needs to happen. And I don't stay focused for 2 hours. I don't stay focused on my PD for 2 hours at a time. I do it all throughout the day. I've got 5-minute meditations that I'll plug in and I'll listen to. I will jump up and down like Tony Robbins and like get my energy up. Like that's still taking care of you. Like I yelled at myself in spin class this morning. I'm like, did you hear me, Jamie? So it's like, you just have to know what works for you and what doesn't. Last night, I'm like, I don't have an evening routine. Shit, I haven't even taken a shower in 2 days. I don't even know how to brush my teeth. Like, that's a problem. So I'm going to talk about that. I look for where I'm failing and then I try to improve it. So the other thing I try to say with PD, you can't start doing PD 2 hours a day. I have done personal development for 15 years. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have a therapist. I am healing from horrible trauma in my childhood that no child without a mama should ever have to deal with. And I'm just trying to find me. And that's all that's all I can say. It's like, you have to be fearless in who you are and stop fitting yourself into a box that doesn't serve you. Because how's it working for you? That's seriously what every day I say, how's that working for you, Kim? How did that conversation work for you? How did that feel?
Okay, I think Kate has a question, and this will be our last question. So go ahead, Kate.
Okay, first of all, you're a boss, and I just love you. Second of all, it's kind of like a two-for question, but we're regarding challenge groups, because I am like super passionate about challenge groups. I feel like that's like my strength, is like helping people get bomb results, and then like I can convert them into bomb coaches too, or like signing people up as coaches to get bomb results, and like that's just how I roll. But I'm running into the issue with MM1. It's not an issue, but it's kind of an issue. Where I'm starting like so many rounds of MM100, because like every 10 days I'm sharing my progress. And so it's like, I'm like restarting a new group like every month. Are you doing like, you're starting a brand new group, or do you have one big group, or like, okay.
One.
Yeah.
What if you put them all in one and took away the dates?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing, because I was like, I have my one that we're like on day 30. So, and then just add everybody else in.
And just be like, where are you starting? Where are you starting? One of the things I try to do, Kate, because I was running into that challenge too. I was like, I will have to find my life if I have to do another group, basically is what I thought. So I was like, okay, so we have one group called Slay Your Year. And I keep trying to just say like like this morning I went live. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just randomly say programs. I'm like, you might be doing PIO. You might be doing this. You might be doing this. You might be doing this. You may be doing Morning Meltdown. I'm on day 30. What day are you on? So for me, that really helps. And then we just run a daily check-in post with motivation and support. Like today's the check-in post did say, or yesterday said 28, but I just messaged the other girls that helped me lead it. I'm like, hey guys, let's take off dates. It's going to confuse people, and no one's starting, everyone's on their own day. So because it's everyone's own journey. So maybe that's something you could do, Kate. Like, hey, dudes, I got an idea. What if we actually just stop labeling our numbers? What if we just show up every day with fire? Like something like that. And then one of the things I need to do, and this is what I'm thinking, I don't know whether you guys have this, but I'm going to do prep weeks units. So like if you're going to start with Morning Meltdown, you're going to be in this prep unit first. And then they get my welcome emails too. Like they get a welcome email series from me. So I feel like when they're ready to go, they're like, after the 7th day, they're like, I don't need any more of Kim in my ear. But maybe that's something you can do, right? So it's like, listen, you're going to jump in this group. This community is for you. Everyone's showing up, because that's a lot of work on you, Kate. Like how many groups do you have up? Because you're a boss. Like
well, so I have an ongoing group that has people that aren't doing MM100. So I have that, which like, my husband pretty much is running. Like I'm like never, but I feel like bad not being in it because I want to be in it.
Yeah.
And then I have like the Morning Meltdown group that I started with. So we're like on day 30, and then I just started one this week. And then I said, I'm going to start one next in like 3 weeks. So it's like a lot. My head's like everywhere. And I feel like I can't talk to everyone.
What if you ask them? What if you ask your girls and just say like, I want your opinion. Like, don't you think it'd be so fun for them to be able to see where you are and where they are, and we all cheer each other on? Maybe you do one Morning Meltdown and one normal. Because that's a lot. Like that's a lot of, I just feel like it's more, for me personally, I just kind of made an executive decision being like, I want to give you my all. And if I'm trying to recreate the wheel, it's so hard. Right? And I've been better in this group than I've ever been because we're all together.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something to.
Yeah.
And Kate, it all comes out on demand in like the end of October. And then you're going to be doing the new one that I keep calling the burger joint. It works, but works. So it's like, I feel like that might be a good transition for you, because you're going to be promoting another program soon. That will be fire.
Yeah, and I feel like if I get them all into like my original like ongoing group, then maybe it'll like light that group back up, because that one's like so dead.
Yeah. And Haley, how's that going for you with the one group?
It is so much better. Like I kind of like you guys are saying, or Kate was saying, I just felt pulled in so many directions that no one had like 100% of me, not even like a quarter of me. And so And it was always like, wait, this group ends when, and then when does this one end? And do I move them to the next one, or do we? And so this year, like, it's one ongoing. I don't care what program they're doing. And we actually took Chelsea Pearson's advice from one of these mastermind calls, and we do one daily check-in post with a really simple motivational graphic that has the date on it. So like today, it was like, what is today? August 27th, drop your sweaty selfie and or nutrition post below to show us what you did today. And so a lot of our people are doing morning meltdown, but we still have people not. And so everybody feels like they still have a place to plug in, and it's just been so much better for me. Hopefully for them too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, girl, Kim needs to get out of here. So thank you so much, Kim, for everything. Seriously, you are fire. Everything was so freaking good. The best thing I think you said, you said so many good like one-liners, but I loved try to fail more than you win, which is just like freaking like, let's just go do it. So thank you so much, Kim. We appreciate it. Everyone else, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm calling you.